Hey guys, Kid here, Burn One, Shadowverse Evolved channel. It's been some time. It's been a while since I've even said that phrase, actually. This is a little channel update. I'm getting back into the swing of things. I've had a lot of things going on in my life, along with work, and actually getting into a different card game called Grand Archive. I've been grinding that game a lot, and actually recently got pretty lucky and won my store championship for that game. You can show off my prize card here that I got recently. Let's see if you guys can see it. This game has been absolutely amazing. It's a game that I started playing around with some of my friends that have been on the channel before. Pressure played a little bit with me, along with, if you guys remember, Shepard and Skaz that came on early on too for Shadowverse Evolve's like early days. We all got kind of into the game for a bit. I'm one of the few ones that stuck with it at this point. Been a really great game to like explore and play, and get kind of scratches that itch where the games feel very heavily, how should I say, like very skill testing, because there's a lot of interaction and a lot of things you can do on your opponent's turn. I basically fallen in love with how that game works a lot and have been enjoying it a lot. So I've been really busy with that, along with, normal life stuff, a lot of work stuff related things that have been going on that have been taking up a lot of my time. And unfortunately, this past season, I didn't make it to Worlds, even though, towards the end there, I kind of got burnt out on Shadowverse Evolve in general. I don't really like how the meta was developing into a way where there was like basically a tier 1 deck that pretty much beat everything else. And as we've seen moving forward, the best deck in the format is usually like the one Japan figured out. But even with that being said, there was still a lot of fun things to explore in the game. Just unfortunately, just the competitive season was kind of over for me, and I had a lot of other things to work on. So even though set 8 came out and everything, and even set 9, wasn't able to really put a lot of time into making content, which kind of sucks in general, because I still really enjoy Shadowverse Evolve, and I'm going to continue playing the game and making content for it. So yeah, I'm just kind of updating you guys a bit on the future of this channel. So one thing that's going to be happening a little bit less often is I'm not going to be producing as much content as often as possible. I'm going to kind of start condensing videos and making, a little. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut completely doing the set reviews. I really enjoy doing those, and gives me a chance to read every card and talk about the cards with some of my friends like Pressure and stuff on the channel to help, not only for myself learning, but for all of you guys as well. Some of the things I'm hoping to start doing again and moving forward is I want to start recording some locals here in Las Vegas. If you weren't aware, I play in Las Vegas at this point, and have helped develop a scene out here. We have like a solid 8 or so players that come about every week or so, and we just kind of grind out games and play every week. The most recent event that I went to was the Showdown Challenge for us, and I ended up winning it, taking it with Forrest, and I ended up getting the Evo Playpoint promo card, which has been great. It's a really beautiful card too as well. I wish I had it here on my desk. I'd show it off a little bit. But yeah, now that I'm getting back into the swing of things, I'm going to start making content. There's a couple different things. Because I'm going to be cutting back on this channel, it's not because I'm not trying to like not make content anymore in general. It's more of that I'm going to start focusing a little bit on the other channel that I talked about a long time ago. It should be Katori TCG, I think is what I have it under on YouTube. I'll post a link for it in the comment section and the more information section or description section for this video. So if you guys would like to follow that channel is going to be more focused. Right now it's going to be a little bit more towards the Grand Archive stuff. But I'm hoping to make that channel more of a channel where I can talk about any card games I'm currently playing and focus a little bit more on, I guess, just the things I'm doing in different TCGs and like travel vlogs for like Ascents for Grand Archive, along with all the regionals for BCS and Summer Festival. I think is what Bushiroad's calling it. For Shadowverse Evolve and possibly Weiss as well, because I'm still playing that game, just not as super competitive. I just kind of sign up and hope for the best, even though I'm not familiar with every meta deck nowadays and every card interaction. I still play the game fairly well, so I'm probably still going to do those since it's basically free to enter regional events for Weiss, and if I'm there, might as well do it if I have the time. But moving forward, I think this channel is going to be a little bit more on gameplay, along with hopefully I end up still doing the set reviews moving forward for the next set and onward, because honestly, like I said, those were a lot of fun, and I really love interacting with other people in the community and rating cards like that, and getting weird fights and stuff about like, no, I think this card's good, no, this card's good, and so forth. Especially with Prescia and his most crazy takes sometimes are a lot of fun to have on here, and hash those out for people to absorb that information and figure out their own things moving forward. Uh, Deck profiles will probably still be coming out as usual. It's just going to be a little less punctual, maybe. That might be the wrong word, because I think moving forward too, if you haven't heard all the news regarding like the accelerated time frame for Shadowverse Evolve is kind of insane. There is some fear that this will kill the game in the West, just because of not only dealing right now with like everything being so much more expensive with whatever's going on. On top of that, we are now being, forced into what I thought was before already a fast timeline, but now it's going to be like basically every month is going to be a new set that's like a combined set. Essentially, it's kind of obnoxious. Even unironically, even Japanese players on Twitter were talking about like, this is very scary for the West and it's going to probably hurt the game a lot. I know I made a video, like hopefully I didn't contribute to this in a weird way. I made a video where I was like suggesting that they should combine sets together because it was working in mainland China and stuff. And I thought that would be a great way to catch up, because one of the funnest parts about card games, in my opinion, and is one of the reasons like I started like messing around a lot with Grand Archive and looking at other card games, is that the exploration on finding different decks and tuning decks to the meta and seeing the meta evolve over a season is very interesting and a lot of fun. Sometimes you find something that other people aren't like aware of or thought was a lot weaker, and you can surprise people at an event and like take them and make your rogue deck suddenly a tier 1 deck that's competing against a lot of other top decks and top players, which is a lot of fun. And I've been enjoying that a lot in Grand Archive. I've missed that in general in card games, especially once I swapped over to Shadowverse Evolve, just because of how much like I don't want to say like the meta was 100% solved every time we get handed like certain sets, but Japan solved so much of like what needs to be done, what the deck archetypes are supposed to be like, what cards are good, what cards are bad, that a lot of times there was almost zero exploration happening in the game. And especially after the, early on, I think there was a lot more exploration just because of how new the game was in Japan as well. They didn't have like the best deck list down. Metas were a lot more open. Almost any craft could like take a win at an event, I would say, or at least win locally, or even in the regionals, I would say, even the bigger events. Nowadays, we're kind of limited to like what Japan was playing on, what they considered the best deck along with like the second best deck. There's very little room for innovation and change in the meta, so it's been really hard to focus on a game that doesn't have a lot of exploration where we can try out different cards and stuff. And personally, I'm not always a fan of doing things where it's like I like playing like some crazy meme deck or whatever. It's fun on the one-off occasion, but when I play card games, I like to just play like the most highest level possible, because I think that's the most fun for me, at least, because I'm such a competitive person when it comes to card games, that unless we're all agree we're playing like meme jank decks, I'm not really interested that often in like figuring out like the top tier, like all bronze deck, for example, or something like that. But so yeah, a lot of the limitations really hurt my interest in like pursuing stuff over seasons that don't have really good competitive seasons. We are coming up to teams though, so that will be very interesting, very fun to start exploring and talking about. First event coming up is in end of May here, and I should be at Bushroad? Oh no, Summerfest at BSF, I guess, over in California at the end of May here coming up. I'll be there with a couple other people teaming up and seeing what we can do. Though I think this meta right now is like pretty horrendous. It's pretty clear the best deck in the format is Dirt Rune for the most part. The second best deck, I think, is what everyone also knew, which was Bats. And congratulations to friend of the channel and friend of mine, Ryan Wibberley. He took Worlds this year, which I'm so happy he did. He's one of the players too. Like, if you didn't know him in Weiss, he was a very, very good, consistent top player. But I don't think he ever had a really breakout moment like he he has in Shadowverse. He's been super consistent. I believe he got second place in Texas is when he got his invite when I was there as well. And then he took Worlds this year. He's a player that's really dedicated and loves the game too, and puts a lot of time towards the game. So I'm glad that finally paid off for him, because I hate when I see I hate when I see my friends not succeed when they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into the game that they're looking to compete, be absolutely competitive in. So I'm really happy for him. But yeah, I'm kind of going off in like crazy tangents here and there. I'm just basically here to say, like, we should start seeing content coming back more normally. Also going to announce here, sorta. It's not like completely in stone just yet. I think we talked about it in the last video I had with Prescia before he went to Worlds, talking about his third place list he got in California. We're going to be doing a podcast, going to be splitting it up sort of, where like we're going to talk about Shadowverse Evolve on my channel. And then the second half of the podcast is going to be about Worlds Beyond, which is another game we'll be talking heavily about as well. There will probably be some Worlds Beyond content on this channel once the game drops, but we're not going to be heavily on that. I want to send you guys over to Precious channel there. I'm going to have a link for him as well in the comment section along in the description section, so you guys can start subscribing to him. His first video just came out today where he talks and goes over about the new mechanics and things coming on in Worlds Beyond, and the focus on his channel being competitive and kind of creating that gap between getting into the game and becoming competitive in the game itself, because there's a lot of hopes that the digital game will get a lot of competitive support from the parent company Side Games, because they put a lot of effort into the original digital Shadowverse. So there's a lot of hope, and that game will also be pushed very heavily for the competitive scene of that game. And he'll talk more about it on his channel, so make sure to go check that out if you're interested in the new digital game. But yeah, as far as this channel goes, you're going to see kind of a little bit of a similar content. It's going to be a little less consistent, I would say. We're going to probably only see about a couple videos a week instead of before. I know when the set was being released, I would try to drop out the full set review and like 5 deck profiles, one for every class immediately, and then usually followed by that a couple of match videos or something, or occasional things to talk about, or decks I'm currently playing in the game. So it's going to be still the same content essentially, but it's going to be definitely more, I would say, a lot less prepared, in the sense that, like I said, we're probably only going to be releasing a couple videos a week. Alongside, I'm going to try to take match videos every week from locals when possible with my setup, and upload those games on here, and possibly do some commentary over it, maybe with Prescia or someone else, just to go over the games. Which also reminds me, we're probably going to have to stop doing like the online local stuff I was doing. It's been kind of dead for a bit now. If you were one of the people who were continuously showing up every week to play in it, unfortunately, just because like this, I don't have the time to run it every week on this certain time. Maybe if someone wants to step up and like start running them every week on our behalf, that'd be totally cool. I'd hook them up, give them permissions in the in the Discord channel and everything, so you can run the events and set them up and everything. Because I, unfortunately, just due to my schedule with work and everything I've been working on, I don't have the time every week consistently to just be able to show up on time and be able to run the event and stream the event and commentate the event basically all by myself. That's kind of like the rough part, which unfortunately, like, it kind of makes me sad, because I really enjoyed like helping run online events for the community and stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and I've met people through that who played on it, and also meeting people at regionals and things like that. It's been a lot of fun. So it does make me kind of sad that I have to step away from that, just due to life in general. That's basically it. I don't do this as a full-time job. This is more of a hobby. So until like this magically becomes a job or something, I'm gonna have to treat it like a part-time hobby type of thing, unfortunately. But yeah, I think with that being said, for those that have stuck around, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know it's been quite a while since a video has been uploaded. Hopefully this will give you guys a little bit of hope moving forward. But yeah, if you're interested in just my TCG journey in general, I'm, like I said, especially if you're interested in Grand Archive, I'm doing a lot of stuff in Grand Archive currently as a competitive player. I'm on at least starting my track to get to Nationals for 2026, going to Worlds in June, I think it is. I already have my ticket bought and everything. I'll be competing there at Worlds for Grand Archive as well. Not at the actual Worlds tournament, because I started the game just very recently, within like the last 6 months. But what I'll be doing is I'll be playing there and in a team event that's like a side event for people who are showing up with some people that I know. Actually, I think if Sam has been on Hikago, if you know him as well, he's been on here before. So I'm teaming up with him and another person from Canada. We're gonna hopefully maybe top 4 in that event is what we're praying for. But we'll see how things pan out moving forward. But yeah, if you're interested in Grand Archive, make sure to check out my other channel, especially if you want to kind of follow along with my travels. I'm going to be talking a lot about basically a bunch of story times about like my travels for Grand Archive and Shadowverse Evolve in general, and hopefully get footage at events and stuff to like post up there a little bit more. I'll probably try to post some Shadowverse Evolve like blog stuff as well on this channel if you're interested in that. But a majority of it will most definitely be on like the Katori TCG channel, since that channel is just going to be for me and like, kind of like the blogging and talking about the card games I'm currently, most focused in being competitive in currently, which right now, like I said, is Grand Archive. Other than that, if you want to talk more about Worlds Beyond and get information from someone who is going to be probably a pillar of the community for quite a while as far as like top players go, make sure to check out Precious channel, which will be in, like I said, both channels will be in the description below or in the comment section below. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little update, and for those that stuck around, once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys later, hopefully in the next video. See ya.